Hey, what's going on? Dr. Ganswell Boogie here again, back for another DVD and VHS update. It's actually been a while since my last video. It's been like 3-4 weeks. I've had a lot going on lately, and I've also been having some problems with my internet connection, which has been making it hard for me to go on YouTube and everything. But that's getting fixed, so I figured it was about time though to put up another video. And since my last video, I've gotten a lot of pretty cool DVDs. I also have some tapes to show, and a couple magazines I was going to show at the end of the video, and a cool CD. So I have a lot to show in this video, so I don't want to waste too much time. So I'm just going to get going. First, I'm going to show you guys what I got for the DVDs. And first off here, this is a DVD that I actually picked up yesterday. This is part of the Roger Corman's Cult Classic series that Shout Factory put out, and this is Forbidden World. And I actually watched this one last night, and this was actually really cool. I've seen a couple other of the science fiction movies Roger Corman put out around this time, and this is actually my favorite one I've seen so far, Forbidden World. This was just a fun movie, just everything you would expect from a Roger Corman production from the 80s. I just had a lot of fun watching this, and I thought it was really cool. And this is an awesome 2-disc DVD set, and it actually comes with a awesome little booklet here with some cool pictures and stuff inside. And the set also comes with, it has the theatrical version of the movie, and also has the director's cut underneath the title The Mutant, which was the original name for the movie, and they switched it. And in the special features, Roger Corman couldn't exactly remember why they switched the name, but they ended up going with Forbidden World, which is cool too. Just an awesome cover on this too. Really happy to add another great DVD to my Roger Corman collection. Right, next up here is a Dario Argento film. This is the Stendhal Syndrome. And I actually just watched this one recently too, and I thought it was pretty good. This is the first 90s Argento film I've ever seen. I've never seen any of his 90s movies. I also have the Phantom of the Opera on DVD, but I haven't gotten around to watching that yet. And I thought this was pretty good. It still stuck with the normal Argento style and weirdness, and it had everything that you would want in a Argento movie. It starred his daughter, Asia Argento, and she did a really good job in this. And I just thought this was a fun, interesting movie. I would definitely recommend this one. This is the 2-disc release from Blue Underground, and I actually found this at a thrift store for $3. So this is a great deal for a 2-disc Blue Underground DVD, $3. Real happy I found this one. Right, next up is a really cool Boris Karloff collection that I picked up. This is from Universal, and this has some of his movies that aren't as well known. Boris Karloff, of course, is best known for his roles as Frankenstein and the Mummy in the classic Universal monster movies, but these are some of the other Universal horror movies he was in from the 30s all the way to the 50s. This has 5 movies on it. It comes with The Night Key, Tower of London, The Climax, The Strange Door, and The Black Castle. And I've been going through all these and watching them. I watched the Night Key, which I thought was really good stuff. Had just great Boris Karloff stuff. Had something going on with like the mafia or the mob in that one. I thought that was fun. And then Tower of London I watched too, which was really cool. Had a lot of fun watching that one. So looking forward to finishing off this Boris Karloff set, and just happy to add to my classic horror collection right here. Right, here we have the Entity. This is the Anchor Bay release of this one. I picked this up at FYE for $12.99, which I thought was a bit pricey, but this is out of print Anchor Bay, and it's kind of rare and sort of hard to find. It's been re-released by other companies since, so you can buy this DVD for cheap, but I was happy to find the Anchor Bay version of it. And if I'm in FYE and I see an Anchor Bay DVD that I don't have, usually I'll pick it up, as long as it looks interesting. So, again, pumped to add another DVD to my Anchor Bay collection. Then next up, I have a couple King Kong DVDs that I picked up. First off here is the remake from 1976, I think, of King Kong. This has Jeff Bridges in it, and I thought this was pretty good. Yeah, I would say I thought it dragged on a little bit. It's a couple hours long, and I thought about an hour and a half in that they could have wrapped it up and ended it, because, I mean, you know what happens in the King Kong story. And same thing with the Peter Jackson one. Again, I thought it was a little bit too long. So in my opinion, still the best King Kong movie is the first one, the black and white one from the 30s. Just a great movie, and none of the remakes or any of the sequels have even come close to doing what that did for film. Just great. But this was good for what it was. It's a big budget 70s remake of King Kong. They used a gorilla suit, which I guess is probably the best way they could have done it in the 70s with the technology they had. And Rick Baker, one of my favorite special effects makeup designers, actually is in the gorilla suit, and he helped work on it a little bit. But in my opinion, I thought the gorilla suit was a little cheesy. There were certain scenes where it worked, but then other scenes that it really just looked like somebody in a gorilla suit, which kind of took me out of the movie. And again, it's weird because when I'm watching the classic King Kong, it's stop motion animation, and it's, you know, some early examples of stop motion animation, but it still works. It like gives me that disbelief of reality, and I don't think that it's fake. It seems real to me. And in this one, it did have a couple scenes where it seemed fake to me, but still, I thought this was pretty good. I guess one of my biggest complaints too is the main actress. I don't know her name. Oh yeah, Jessica Lange. I just thought her character was kind of annoying, especially compared to Fay Wray's in the original King Kong, which is a classic role. She did a great job with it. And this one I just didn't think compared at all. I thought a lot of the lines and dialogue were awkward from her character, and her character just seemed a little weird, and I didn't quite get it. I don't know, but other than that, this was decent. And then next up for King Kong, I picked up King Kong Escapes, which is the sequel to King Kong vs. Godzilla. So this is one of the Toho King Kong movies, and these are tons of fun. King Kong vs. Godzilla, it's just non-stop fun. Just, you got King Kong and Godzilla fighting each other, and the Toho Godzilla movies are really fun anyways, and these ones were made by them, so, you know, I think that's really cool. These are just fun, really fun movies. Definitely recommend these. Out of all the King Kong sequels, your Son of Kong and stuff, I would say the Toho ones are probably the most fun to watch, and I consider them canon with the original US King Kong series. I feel like the Japanese Toho, they did a good job making them seem like they connect somewhat in a way. I just think these are cool. Definitely would recommend the Godzilla movies and the King Kong movies from Toho. They're really fun. Alright, next up here is a Vincent Price Midnight Movie 2-pack. And actually, both of these movies are also directed by Roger Corman. So this was a addition to my Roger Corman collection and my Vincent Price collection, so I love picking up these midnight movie packs, and I plan to pick more of them up because they're cheaper now than they used to be. I would say about 5 years ago, these 2-packs used to be a lot more expensive, but they must have re-released them because I bought this one brand new at FYE for $6.99. So this is really cool. I've actually never seen either of these Vincent Price movies. I don't think I have, so I'm really looking forward to checking these out, especially since they're Roger Corman films. Probably going to try to get around to these pretty soon. Alright, next up here we have Phantom of the Paradise. And I found this at a thrift store for $1. The cover is a little bit water damaged there, but I felt like it was a good deal anyways, and most of you not know that this just got an awesome Scream Factory release. So I thought it was cool that I found this because I don't have a Blu-ray player right now, so I didn't pick up the new Scream Factory release, which I plan on getting a Blu-ray player soon. Definitely by the end of this year, I plan to pick one up and start to pick up some of those awesome Scream Factory Blu-rays because they're just too cool to ignore. And I haven't made that leap yet over to Blu-rays, but I definitely plan to do that really soon. But this was cool. I actually haven't watched this yet, but I remember in high school, I watched this movie on TV. I think it was on like TNT's Monster Vision or something like that, sometime when I was in high school. And I remember catching glimpses of it and always wondering what that movie was like later in my life. And I found out that it was this movie, and I just remember this being fun, kind of like rock and roll type Phantom of the Opera thing. So looking forward to checking this one out for sure. Right, and that was the end of the horror related stuff. But I have some other like action DVDs, like action movie DVDs that I picked up, and this one's science fiction too. And this is RoboCop 2, which I only have RoboCop 1 on DVD now, but now I have the first two, so I need to pick up the third one. And I always remember the RoboCop sequels being decent, not as good as the first one, but still fun. So looking forward to getting around and checking this one out, and hopefully I'll find the third one on DVD one of these days soon. I want to get these like the older separate editions you can get, because I know you can get like 3-packs that come with all three at like Walmart, but I'm trying to get them all separate like this right now. RoboCop 2. Alright, next up here is actually this was one of my favorite movies in high school. So I have this movie has a lot of nostalgia to me, and it's been a really long time since I've seen this movie. I haven't seen it in like 4 or 5 years maybe. And of course, it's Quentin Tarantino's first movie, Reservoir Dogs. And this is the Mr. White edition of the DVD, which you can get one for each of the main characters, Mr. Brown, Pink, and Orange, and all that. And I just thought this one was cool. I actually didn't have a copy of this on DVD yet right now, so they had this FYE used for like $3.99, so I was like, why not? I'll pick it up. And this is really cool. I'm really looking forward to rewatching this one because, like I said, in high school, me and all my friends loved this movie. We loved Quentin Tarantino's movies and just everything like that. And I would say since high school, I've kind of become less of a Tarantino fan, but I'm trying to get myself kind of back into it a little bit. So I picked up Reservoir Dogs, and I plan on picking up Pulp Fiction and Jackie Brown again. And I'll probably try to get Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2 over again, and just get some Quentin Tarantino movies going on again, because he's a really fun, interesting director. You really can't go wrong with one of his movies. Really cool here, Reservoir Dogs, Mr. White Edition DVD. Great movie there, really good stuff. Right, next up here, I got a couple more action movies. This is Rambo, First Blood Part 2. I love the first Rambo movie. It's probably my favorite, just straightforward action movie that's not science fiction or horror related at all. Just my favorite straightforward action movie is definitely Rambo, First Blood. The first Rambo movie is just called First Blood. And it's an awesome movie. Just one of the coolest movies ever. Like, just to sum the movie up in a nutshell, basically, you got Stallone running around the woods murdering cops. And it's just the whole build-up to that. It's just a great revenge story. Just a great movie in general. One of the best action movies, in my opinion, First Blood. So I figured I would pick up the sequels. They had them cheap at FYE, and they had a deal going on. Buy one, get one for $1. So I picked up Rambo, First Blood Part 2, and I got Rambo 3 for $1. So I thought that was a great deal. Looking forward to watching both of these. I've actually seen Rambo 2 a couple times. I have it on VHS, and I've seen it on TV once before too. So I've seen that one a couple times, but it's been a while since I've seen the whole movie all the way through. And Rambo 3, I don't think I've ever seen, unless I watched like parts of it on TV and just forgot about it. So I'm looking forward to watching both of these, of course. And I was probably just going to do a full Rambo marathon, watch First Blood, and then watch both of these. Actually, I don't have the newer one, which I've never seen, which I've heard a lot of people say that it's good. So maybe I'll have to check out that one eventually. I think it's just called John Rambo, or they might have just called it Rambo. I don't remember, but the newer Rambo with Stallone that came out like 4 years ago, whatever. I'll have to check that one out one of these days. But love the first Rambo for sure. Right, next up here, that was it for the DVDs. So next up, I'll show you guys the tapes that I picked up. I only got a couple here, but the ones that I bought, I was really happy with. I picked up another copy of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark on tape. I actually have a different copy of this on tape. It's like a special edition that has a bunch of special features on it, which is really cool too. But I've always really wanted to get this one because I love the original movie poster for this movie, and my other tape copy doesn't have this, and none of the DVD copies of this movie have the poster either, even though the Anchor Bay DVD does have the poster as the insert, which is cool, but I wish they had used it as the cover, because this is just such a fun poster right here. But I love this movie. Love Elvira. Love her show. The movie Macabre Show, just awesome. If you're a classic horror movie fan of cheesy horror movies, highly recommend checking that out. And this movie is just great. This is their first movie, and this is definitely her best movie. She only made two, and out of the two she made, this is my favorite one to watch. And this is just a fun movie. It's more of a comedy than like a horror movie. It's just like kind of like a horror comedy in a sense, and just a really cool, fun movie. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, just an awesome VHS copy of this. Real happy to find that. And then the last tape I picked up here is actually the Philadelphia Experiment 2 on tape. I didn't even know that movie had a sequel to it, so I'm guessing this is a straight-to-video, hopefully fun, cheesy sequel. I actually just picked up the first Philadelphia Experiment movie on DVD. I picked up the Anchor Bay edition probably like a month ago on DVD, so if you want to check out that update, I'll try to maybe put a link to that, because I give a little bit of review on that movie. I thought it was pretty good, the original Philadelphia Experiment from the 80s. Thought it was decent. So I'm looking forward to watching the sequel for it, though, and seeing what it's all about. Alright, next up I have a cool CD I wanted to show you guys, and then some magazines that I just thought were awesome. Alright, for the CD, though, this is actually some Goblin music right here. They did the soundtrack for a bunch of Dario Argento movies, and also the soundtrack for Dawn of the Dead. And this is actually the soundtrack for Dawn of the Dead, or otherwise known as Zombie. And this comes with the soundtrack for Zombie and Tenebrae, which is an odd pairing in a sense, because these movies came out a good like 6-7 years apart from each other, and the band Goblin was slightly different on the Tenebrae soundtrack than on the Zombie soundtrack. But I picked this up because I needed to buy both of these soundtracks, and I thought it would save me some money buying them both on this little compilation 2-pack right here, which I think is really cool. This is an old release from the early 90s, 1990. This is an Italian release of these, so this is like, you know, the real thing right here. This is an import. This is kind of hard to find, and the CD is sort of pricey. I spent, I think, like around 25 bucks on this. I don't exactly remember, but I thought it was worth it because I did the math, and to buy the Tenebrae and the Zombie soundtrack separate, it would have been more than that. So I saved myself a few bucks getting it this way, and I just think this looks cool. Anyways, I have the Phenomena soundtrack from the same company. And I just really like the way the CDs look and they're laid out. Really cool here. Awesome. Great soundtracks here. I've been wanting the Tenebrae soundtrack for a really long time, and I used to have the Dawn of the Dead Zombie soundtrack on CD years ago, so I've been wanting to pick that up again for a while too. So really cool. Awesome CD right here. Alright, and last here for the video, just going to show you guys a couple of the newer magazines I picked up. I picked up a couple issues of Starlog magazine, which is the science fiction equivalent to Fangoria. It's basically edited and laid out the same way. I really wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the same people worked on both magazines, but I'm not really sure about that. But I picked this one up. This is issue number 11. This is an issue from the late 70s, I think 78. This has my boy Rick Baker on the cover. This was before he really hit it big with a lot of his movies that made him famous in the 80s, like American Werewolf in London and stuff like that. But this still highlights just makeup effects in general and movie effects and everything like that. And it has a lot of stuff about Rick Baker and other makeup artists in here. So just a really interesting magazine. I've actually been kind of getting into the whole monster makeup type thing, and I found this a really interesting read. I read through this one, and it was really cool. Great cover on here, and this is one of the early issues of Starlog, number 11, so I thought that was cool. And next up, I was really excited about this. This is actually issue number 52 of Starlog magazine, but this is the one that I wanted the most out of any issue of Starlog, and because this has a preview for Blade Runner in it. So this is the Blade Runner issue of Starlog magazine, and if you've seen a couple of my other videos, Blade Runner is my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies. It's definitely in my top 2 yeah, or top five. Just is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Blade Runner, just a great movie, and I basically just try to collect everything I can to do with this. And I started to collect Starlog magazines a couple years ago. I found a couple at a flea market, and I picked them up, and I thought they were cool. And I remember looking in the back of the issue, and they showed this issue with Blade Runner, and since then, this is the issue that I've been wanting to get, so I'm extremely excited that I found this one. Found this for $2 at a thrift store, along with the other one. There, at this thrift store I went to was a Savers, just a regular thrift store, you know, and they had a whole bunch of Starlog magazines. I should have picked some more up. Next time I go, if they still have some there, I'll probably try to pick like 2 or 3 more up to see if they have any cooler issues there. They had some of the really early issues there too, like issues 2, 3, 4, and 5. So maybe I'll have to hope those will still be there and pick them up. But this is really cool here. And then last for this video and last for the magazines, I picked this one up just kind of random. I was going to buy another Starlog magazine, but when I went up to the counter to pay, they had more magazines. Some guy must have sold his whole like old magazine collection, and they had this one sitting up there with a bunch more Starlog magazines. And I didn't think much of it first, but I read what was on the cover of it, and when I read what was on the cover, I like had to pick this one up. This is a issue of Preview magazine, which I don't really know anything about this magazine. I don't know if it's still running now or when they ended or when they started or anything like that. But this magazine deals with like pop culture, entertainment. They have stuff about movies, music, comic books, other stuff like this. So this was actually a cool magazine, and you wouldn't really know from the cover, even though the cover is like, you know, it's a good cover, don't get me wrong, but just not what I was expecting would be inside of this from the cover. But the main reason I picked this up is it has a review about David Cronenberg's Videodrome, which is another one of my favorite movies of all time. That and Blade Runner are basically my 2 favorite movies ever. But it had a thing about that, and it also had a thing about Stephen King's and George A. Romero's Creepshow, which I thought was awesome. And then also on this, let me get my hand out of the way, they had some stuff about John Carpenter, John Landis, some stuff about Blade Runner in here too. So I was just like, it just had too many things I was interested in this, so I felt like I had to pick it up. And this is only $2 too. This is an older magazine. This has got to be from 1982 when Blade Runner and Videodrome were coming out. Same thing with this issue, definitely from like 81 or 82. But real quick, I'll just show you guys the article about Videodrome in here, because I had an awesome picture that went with it, and that alone just made buying this like so awesome. Probably gonna be a pain to find this, but I'll see. Yeah, here's the page about Blade Runner though. It's actually about one of the guys who did like some of the production designs on the vehicles and sets. It's a pretty interesting read. Then here is some stuff about Creepshow. Really cool right here. Stephen King there from the movie. Another page about Creepshow. I think there is one more page about Creepshow too. Yeah, right here. Kind of talks about each skit and some of the other stuff. It's just really interesting, cool pictures here. Really cool. Alright, and I'll try to find the Videodrome article real quick, hopefully. Across that. I probably should have put a little thing on the page to save it, because I actually don't remember. Oh, right here. And this picture I just thought was awesome. One of the coolest things I've ever seen that go with Videodrome. But of course, it's of Debbie Harry, who is in the band Blondie, but she also starred in Videodrome. It was like her first movie, and just a great movie. I love Blondie, and I love Debbie Harry's music and her movies and everything. Big fan, so another reason why this is one of my favorite movies ever. But just look at that. I mean, that's just an awesome picture right there. But yeah, so that was this Preview magazine. Really cool. Just a random pickup, but I was really happy with it after I picked it up. Alright, so that was the update for this time around, and I shot it in the kitchen for some random reason. I actually like the lighting in my kitchen better than my room. My room is very dark lit, and I have a big old ceiling fan. And when I feel like when I'm trying to show off some of my movies, the lights from that reflect on the DVD case a lot. So I just figured I'd try shooting out in my kitchen, see how the video came up. If you guys like it better than when I was shooting in my other room, let me know. Because I do prefer to shoot in my DVD room because I have all my DVDs and stuff set up. It's a good backdrop for these type of videos, of course, but when it comes down to it, I really think it's about just the best presentation. So when I show you guys what I have, you can see what I have. So I figured I'll try shooting it out here. So let me know what you guys think about that, and of course, let me know what you guys thought about the video. Give it a thumbs up or leave a comment if you liked it, and thanks again for watching, guys.